the threat he posed all season. I mean, I thought coming back here on this tight pitch, he was someone I thought could maybe light this game up, but they've lost that. And they've got to use the spirit of this place, the emotion that comes out of this place on nights like these. The players have to utilise that for their benefit.
It's been an extraordinary season in many ways for Liverpool. It could end in heartbreak in many ways, Robbie, or it could end gloriously. Who knows? But it looks like it's going to be the former rather than the latter.
Yeah, but look, I think Liverpool, I mean, they've had so many questions, asked of them this year. I think they've answered everything. I think you look at the Premier League, and certainly Man City have been magnificent. You come to the Champions League, I think Liverpool are where they are on merit. Last year they got to the final, probably a little bit of an unknown entity. Not many teams in Europe knew much about them. This year they're there on merit. They've been brilliant. The 3-0 scoreline, people will say the stats will lead you to it wasn't a 3-0 game. Goals win games. It doesn't matter how much possession.
It's just not only goals, it's where they win the ball back. They're the catalyst, almost the front three to win the ball back at times, and that they bring so much the personality and expectations as well, not only from the fans but from the other players. You're in a change room, it's like having these two alongside me. If they're out of a game, you know about it.
This was the starting lineup that Jurgen Klopp's gone with. Thoughts on that, Robbie? Yeah, I suppose he's kind of hasn't got too much to choose from.
No, he hasn't. I mean, you've just mentioned the likes of Firmino and the likes of Salah. When they are not playing, it's a big miss. We don't really know the formation or what shape they're going to play. Shaqiri's probably playing in the point of a diamond, but he's that type of player we can maybe play across the top three. But look, I think with the way Barcelona play, with the bodies they get in there, I think it's important Liverpool match them first and foremost, because that is how you win games. And you start winning or controlling midfield areas, and then everywhere else, sort of fits into each other. But I'd be maybe amazed if we don't probably see a Liverpool system with the way they started over in obviously the Camp Nou with obviously Ronaldo. Yeah, Ronaldo obviously played the point, didn't he?
Yeah. Barcelona exactly the same starting lineup as last week. I imagine they'll play the same formation, Michael.
Yeah, I would say so, and they'll be fearful coming here to Anfield because Liverpool did dominate in a lot of periods at the Camp Nou. But that's a solid enough Barcelona team. They've been obviously rested this weekend. They're a solid team. They haven't got many injuries at all, unlike Liverpool. So you'd say that obviously favours them coming here fresh off the back of a great victory against Liverpool. It's what we expected, really. They don't really have too many players on the bench to change it. That really is their starting 11.
Certainly is. In last week's first leg, Lionel Messi's 600th career goal was quite a special one. It was one of those moments that you just want to see again and again. So here it is, again.
We know exactly what's coming here from the free kick.
Pica Messi!
What a goal! That is sensational!
I've no idea why people get so carried away with these goals. We're running out of superlatives for him, aren't we? After the break, we'll look back at that first leg in a bit more detail, including Lionel Messi's defining role. We'll also hear from the Liverpool manager, Jurgen Klopp. We'll be back shortly. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, who sat down for a chat with Des Kelly yesterday.
He said straight after the game in Barcelona, I don't know if we can play much better than that.
Away at Barcelona, I still don't know. If we score the goals, we could have scored. And it's not about quality or whatever. You create the chances, and this team most of the time used them. In this game, they didn't. The game was really, really good. And all the smart people around here, it's about winning and all. We know that, but it's about playing as well. And that's the first. Usually, the result is the result of the performance. If you then it was a brilliant game, then we lose there maybe 3-2. We still can concede the goals, but we lose then 3-2. What the result is that away at Barcelona?
Messi hits one. Oh, what a goal!
Wow, but I still think it was a brilliant free kick. But they adapted to us. Messi in between the lines, that caused us some problems. When he then came in the middle, it's usually not a problem, but we were on the one side chasing the game. On the other hand side, you have always the little guy in between the lines. He can turn with the ball, and that's then just really difficult to defend. In that moment, you need to wait until you have more legs around to defend it then slightly deeper on the pitch, and that's what we did very often.
So is it a night for emotion? Are you looking to create an atmosphere in the stadium that makes it very difficult for Barca?
Oh, thank God I don't have to, because the season was fantastic so far, and we have now 2 home games. I would be really poor if I would have to say, come on, Liverpool, let's give it a try. I know the people are waiting for these. We're waiting all the time for these games. The crowd knows that we need help. It's that we need the power of Anfield. I just don't think I have to ask for it. I really think it will be there. Everybody will be on their toes, and that's of course what we expect, what Barcelona expects, and then we have to play football. It's the best team in the world, maybe left in the competition for sure. 3 goals you can score over 95 minutes. That's possible. And we are, meanwhile, experienced enough that we know that. So let's play it in a very lively way, but like a normal game. When 2 of the world's best strikers are not available, that's for no team in the world perfect news. But the only thing we really can do is give it a proper try.
And it's possible.
Yeah. Everything is possible. It's football. The ball is round, rolling in different directions, grass, wonderful players around. There's a lot of things are possible, yeah.
Yeah, the first leg was interesting in many ways. The fact that 3-0 scoreline, Robbie, wasn't it? And Messi was probably the difference by and large.
Well, he was. I mean, look, we all know how good he is, but I think we've probably seen a bit more of Messi that year. Because in that game, you know, at times, you know, he's such an enigmatic player that, you know, we know what he's going to do when he gets the ball. But sometimes you watch him in La Liga and he won't do nothing for a little bit. He'll go and, you know, stand on the wings. But I think he was more involved in everything Barcelona had to play. I mean, you see him rolling about there. That is very, very un-Messi-like. But look, when he's got the ball, I mean, he's just an incredible player. You know, you can never ever rest on your laurels whenever he's about.
I mean, we spoke about it after the game over there at the Camp Nou that sometimes he tricks you. You think, because he's walking about and you think he's disinterested, he's not interested in the game at all, he's looking into the stands, he's looking at his feet, and then all of a sudden he probably looks over and sees that your concentration levels have dropped slightly, then bang.
There's an interesting little graphic there of the goals that he scored in that 600 for Barcelona. You would expect it was predominantly left foot, but given the nature of that, as defenders, you would think you'd try and show him onto his right foot, wouldn't you? But it ain't that easy, is it, with him?
You show him onto his right foot, he runs round the ball and gets onto his left foot. He's that quick again. So it doesn't matter where you show him. And if you do show him that area, he'll take it with both hands. And he's ridiculous.
We can sit in here talk, you know, as much as we want about, you know, ways to stop him. But look, there's far bigger and better players and ex-players and far bigger and better managers who've tried to do this for years. They've never done it.
They can't stop him. Liverpool, though, did have their chances at the other end, Michael.
They did, and that was the difference on the night. Liverpool had more than enough chances. Mane was the first one. Just wonder whether he could have taken another step with his left foot and hit it with his right to keep it down. But he was stretching a bit. I don't think Milner can do much more there, feeding it into the far corner. Good save. I mean, I wouldn't blame him for this, or for that, I should say. This, I think, you've got to be, you know, all this just hit the target stuff goes out the window when you're playing at the top level. You've got to take chances and try to hit corners, take risks.
This would have just given them a much bigger opportunity this evening.
If it's on his left foot, then it's all over, isn't it? It's a goal. And this was fortunate, I suppose, because that would have totally been the nail in the coffin. As it is, maybe.
OK, let's look at the other end of the pitch. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been at Liverpool since he was 6 years old. He's had an incredible season, providing 13 assists from right back. We caught up with him yesterday.
We was on a good run before the Barca game. It was probably a test for us, getting beat 3-0, see how we'd react. We were all massively disappointed. We feel like we should have got more from the game. I think we had more possession and more passes than Barcelona at the new camp. It's not really heard of. Some things you can't really do much about, and that free kick you can't. A free kick from 30 yards out you don't really expect to go in, but when you've got player visibility, then anything's possible. So we know we need to be obviously really aware of what you can do, and obviously they still have their weaknesses as a team, and I'm sure the manager will pick them out.
Is it impossible to claw back a 3-0 deficit against Barcelona? Everyone's saying it is.
It's unlikely, if you're being honest, but keeping the clean sheet is massive for us, not conceding, and then obviously giving the foundation for the attackers and the midfielders to push on and get us goals, hopefully.
You look at Liverpool's back four now, they've been involved in 38 goals this season.
It's really good numbers, and it's obviously a pleasure of mine to be part of them numbers, but yeah, I'd trade them all in for some silver at the end of the season.
So it's unlikely, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Great young player, great talent, great teeth as well. His braces are off, looking great. Him along with Andy Robertson, I mean, they're quite a pair, aren't they, both sides? Great energy and great ability.
Definitely. It's the modern day fullbacks. You want them to be able to defend and also get forward, and I think the range in their play in terms of when they get in the final third, they can whip it from outside the box, they get into the box, they cut the ball back. This is one of Robertson's favourites, cutting it back there to somebody to be coming onto it. And I just think their all-round games, both of them are fantastic, and it's almost a mini competition within the team who can get the most assists. That kind of push each other on, and I think that maybe in the Camp Nou, with hindsight, which is a beautiful thing if you could have it, Trent Alexander maybe was the one mistake. Maybe you could look back on and say he could have got that maybe different, because he went for Gomez out of the wilderness really with a long injury, who is mainly a centre-half, but I understand because for his defensive responsibilities, huge. Barca's left side, such a strong part of their game, but Trent, in terms of delivery, and Andy Robertson, they're fantastic.
The thing about, because Barcelona are so strong down that side, sometimes you can actually counter-attack against them. That's probably where they would miss Trent Alexander-Arnold, because that delivery.
Yeah, I think that's probably why Gomez played. I think defensively he's probably a better player than Trent, but going forward, certainly Liverpool maybe lacked that little bit. You know, essentially because they have more possession, probably more chances, but you probably need that little bit of quality from the final third from Trent.
You can see Gomez probably coming in alongside Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. What a back four that could be for years, especially with the keeper behind him.
I think Gomez, that's his position, centre half in the long run. Jordi Alba's got more assists than both fullbacks in La Liga this season, so you can understand why Jurgen Klopp went with a more defensive. But this Liverpool team sets up for playing attacking fullbacks because the midfield do a very, very good job as well. I mean, everyone complains about not many assists, not many goals coming from midfield from the Liverpool team, but that solid base allows them fullbacks. And fullbacks tonight are going to be the key to this. If they can get forward and push the defence of Barcelona back, then we could see anything happening.
You never know. There's no doubt that Jurgen Klopp's side face a huge uphill task at Anfield this evening. But if there's one team that knows a thing or two about European comebacks,